Did you know that Japan has more than 90,000 people over the age of 100? That's not just a coincidence, it's a lifestyle. And one of their most overlooked secrets is a food they eat every single morning, a food that quietly supports their heart, bones, and memory as the years go by. Today, I will reveal exactly what this daily habit is and why it could make a huge difference for your own health. This is not about miracle pills or expensive treatments. It's about a tradition so simple, yet so powerful, that it has helped millions of Japanese elders stay strong well into their later years. Before we begin, let me ask you something. Where are you right now as you watch this video, and what time is it? Please share it in the comments below. I love seeing where everyone is tuning in from. Did you know that Japan has more than 90,000 people who are over the age of 100? That's not just a number, it's living proof that something about their lifestyle is working, and working remarkably well. Now here's the real surprise. One of their most powerful longevity secrets isn't found in expensive supplements, miracle pills, or complicated treatments. Instead, it's in a simple food they eat every single day, often without even thinking of it as special. Today, I will reveal to you this hidden habit, a tradition quietly passed down for generations that science now confirms can protect the heart, strengthen the bones, and even sharpen the memory. This daily practice has supported Japanese elders through decades of healthy aging, helping them maintain independence and vitality far longer than most people expect. And here's the good news. It's something you can learn from and apply to your own life, no matter where you live. Before we dive into this secret, I'd love to know, where are you watching this video from, and what time of day is it right now? Please share it in the comments below, because I truly enjoy seeing when and where you join me. When people think of Japan, images of cherry blossoms, bustling cities, and centuries-old traditions often come to mind. But there's another remarkable fact about this country that captures the attention of health experts worldwide. Japan consistently ranks among the nations with the highest life expectancy. In fact, the average Japanese person can expect to live well into their 80s, and many thrive beyond the age of 90. What makes this even more impressive is not just the length of life, but the quality of it. Many elders remain active, social, and mentally sharp well into advanced age. One concept researchers often highlight is the idea of blue zones. These are regions in the world where people regularly live longer than average, and Okinawa, a southern island of Japan, is one of the most famous examples. Here, it is common to see elders in their 90s tending gardens, walking with friends, or cooking meals from scratch. They don't just live longer, they live better, and that has fascinated scientists for decades. What sets the Japanese lifestyle apart is not one single factor, but a combination of cultural habits that reinforce health. Diet plays a central role, with meals built around vegetables, fish, rice, and soy-based foods rather than heavy meats or processed products. Portions are modest, meals are balanced, and eating is seen as a mindful practice rather than something rushed or distracted. Many Japanese people also follow the principle of hara hachibu, a cultural wisdom that encourages eating until you are only 80% full. This prevents overeating and helps maintain a healthy weight throughout life. Beyond diet, social structure and cultural values contribute to longevity. In many Japanese communities, elders remain deeply connected with family and neighbors. Unlike in some parts of the world where aging can feel isolating, Japanese elders often enjoy a strong sense of belonging. This is tied to the idea of ikigai, a reason to wake up each morning. Whether it's caring for a garden, preparing meals for family, or practicing a hobby, having a purpose creates a positive mindset that carries physical benefits as well. Modern medicine certainly plays a role in extending life expectancy, but what makes Japan's case unique is how traditional habits continue to provide a strong foundation for health. While technology advances and hospitals become more sophisticated, many Japanese elders rely less on medical interventions and more on the small, consistent choices they make every day. From walking as a natural part of daily life to sharing meals at the table, these choices accumulate over decades, building resilience against disease. And yet, among all these cultural factors, there is one particular food that stands out. It is not flashy, and to outsiders, it may even seem unusual. But for countless Japanese elders, it is a daily staple that quietly supports their health year after year. This food has been part of Japanese tradition for centuries, and only in recent years has science begun to uncover why it is so powerful. As we continue, I will reveal exactly what this food is, why it has earned a place at the breakfast table for generations, and how it could play a role in transforming the way we think about aging. The Japanese secret of longevity is not locked away, it is right there on the plate, in plain sight. When you first hear about the longevity of Japanese elders, you might expect the secret to be a rare herb, a special tea, or perhaps an exotic treatment passed down through generations. But the truth is far simpler, and in some ways even more surprising. The food that countless Japanese people over the age of 90 eat every single day is called natto fermented soybeans. At first glance, natto may not look like a magical health food. In fact, for many people outside Japan, it can be intimidating. Its sticky, stringy texture and strong aroma are unlike most foods familiar to the Western palate. Yet for millions of Japanese elders, natto is just a normal part of breakfast, served alongside rice, miso soup, or pickled vegetables. What seems unusual to outsiders has been a quiet daily ritual for generations in Japan. The origins of natto trace back hundreds of years. Legend has it that natto was first discovered accidentally when cooked soybeans were wrapped in straw and left in a warm environment, allowing natural bacteria to ferment the beans. Instead of discarding the sticky result, people tasted it and found it surprisingly nourishing. Over time, this accident turned into tradition, and tradition evolved into one of the most iconic health foods of Japan. For the Japanese, natto is more than just food, it's culture. Elders who grew up eating natto often describe it with affection, remembering the way their parents or grandparents prepared it in the morning. Eating natto became a habit so ingrained that many never questioned it. It wasn't about nutrition labels or health fads, it was about consistency, a quiet act repeated day after day, year after year. Despite its modest appearance, natto has earned a reputation as a superfood in Japan. Children are often encouraged to eat it, and adults continue the habit throughout their lives. Walk into a grocery store in Tokyo or Osaka, and you'll find rows of small natto packages, affordable and accessible to everyone. Unlike expensive supplements or trendy health products, natto is an everyday staple, available to families across all income levels. What makes this so fascinating is how this humble dish has gained the attention of scientists worldwide. Researchers began noticing that communities with high natto consumption also had lower rates of certain chronic illnesses, particularly heart disease and osteoporosis. The link was too strong to ignore, and modern studies began to focus on natto's nutritional profile. As it turns out, this sticky bean dish is packed with elements that directly support long-term health. Still, for someone encountering natto for the first time, the challenge is taste. Many Westerners describe the flavor as earthy, pungent, or even acquired. But here's the important part. For Japanese elders, natto isn't about indulgence or culinary luxury, it's about nourishment. They see it as fuel for a long, active life, not as a treat to be enjoyed once in a while. This mindset, choosing food for function as well as flavor, may be just as important as the natto itself. As we move forward, I will break down the science behind natto. You'll see how this single food supports the heart, strengthens the bones, and even sharpens the mind. More importantly, you'll discover why something so ordinary for the Japanese has the potential to transform the way we think about healthy aging in America. Now that we know natto is the daily staple eaten by so many Japanese elders, the natural question is, why does it matter so much? What makes this sticky, fermented soybean dish more than just an unusual breakfast food? The answer lies in its powerful nutritional profile and the unique benefits it delivers to the body, benefits that align perfectly with the health challenges many of us face as we grow older. First, natto is one of the richest natural sources of vitamin K2, a nutrient often overlooked in the Western diet. Vitamin K2 plays a critical role in directing calcium to the right places in the body into the bones and teeth while preventing it from building up in the arteries. For older adults, this is crucial. Strong bones reduce the risk of fractures, and clear arteries reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. Studies have shown that populations with higher K2 intake tend to have lower rates of osteoporosis and cardiovascular issues, two of the biggest concerns for aging Americans. Second, natto is packed with probiotics, the beneficial bacteria that support gut health. Unlike yogurt or kefir, which many people in the West already know, natto contains a unique strain called Bacillus subtilis. This probiotic not only aids digestion, but also boosts the immune system and helps the body absorb nutrients more efficiently. For elders, who often struggle with digestive issues or nutrient deficiencies, this is an invisible but powerful layer of protection. Third, natto contains an enzyme called nattokinase, discovered by Japanese researchers in the 1982nd. Nattokinase has been shown to help reduce blood clot formation, which lowers the risk of heart attack and stroke, two conditions that rank among the leading causes of death in older adults worldwide. Unlike synthetic medications that can come with side effects, nattokinase is a natural compound, and for many Japanese elders, it's something they consume daily without even thinking about it. But the benefits don't stop there. Natto is also high in plant-based protein, making it a valuable source of nutrition for maintaining muscle mass. As we age, muscle naturally declines, leading to weakness, frailty, and loss of independence. A consistent source of protein helps slow this process, and natto provides it in a way that is easy to digest and sustain over time. Let's not forget the broader picture. Natto isn't eaten in isolation. It's part of a balanced Japanese diet that includes rice, miso soup, fish, and vegetables. Together, these foods create a synergy, each complementing the other. But even when studied individually, natto stands out as a nutritional powerhouse with a unique blend of vitamins, probiotics, and enzymes rarely found in other foods. Of course, not everyone enjoys the taste right away. Some foreigners describe natto as pungent or even challenging. But here's something worth considering. Longevity is not about luxury, it's about consistency. Japanese elders don't eat natto because it's trendy or fashionable. They eat it because they've always known it helps them feel better, stay stronger, and live longer. Over time, taste becomes less important than the benefits it brings. Science is finally catching up with what Japanese tradition has shown for centuries. Natto supports heart health, strengthens bones, boosts digestion, and even sharpens the mind. For those seeking a natural, affordable, and time-tested way to improve health in later years, natto is a remarkable example of how a small daily habit can produce a lifetime of results. When we talk about the Japanese secret to longevity, it is tempting to think that it all comes down to one food, like natto. But the truth is broader and perhaps even more important. It is not only what the Japanese eat, but how they eat. Their eating habits reflect a culture of balance, mindfulness, and respect for food values that may be just as powerful as the nutrients themselves. One of the most famous Japanese sayings about eating is harahachi bu. This phrase, often practiced in Okinawa, means eat until you are 80% full. It is a gentle reminder not to overindulge, but to stop eating when you feel satisfied rather than stuffed. This small habit helps maintain a healthy weight, prevents the strain that overeating puts on the body, and supports longevity over the long run. In contrast, in many Western societies, meals often emphasize abundance, where fullness is equated with satisfaction. Shifting to a mindset of moderation can be a powerful step toward better health. Another lesson lies in the pace of eating. Japanese meals are traditionally eaten slowly, with smaller bites and with time taken to enjoy the presentation and flavors. This slower rhythm allows the body to recognize satiety signals, reducing the likelihood of consuming unnecessary calories. It also reduces stress, as eating becomes a calming ritual rather than a rushed task squeezed between obligations. For elders in particular, slowing down at the table encourages better digestion and provides a daily opportunity for social connection. Variety is another key principle. Instead of centering meals around one large portion of meat or starch, Japanese meals are composed of several small dishes. A typical meal might include rice, miso soup, pickled vegetables, grilled fish, and natto. Each portion is modest, but together they create a wide spectrum of nutrients. This variety ensures balance and prevents the body from being overloaded with any one type of food. For older adults, this approach reduces the risk of nutritional deficiencies and helps maintain steady energy throughout the day. There is also an emotional and cultural component to how food is viewed. In Japan, meals are often prepared with care and shared with family, creating a sense of gratitude and connection. Even the phrase spoken before eating itadakimasu is an expression of thanks to those who prepared the meal and to nature itself for providing it. This attitude turns eating into a mindful act, one that nourishes both body and spirit. For elders, these rituals of gratitude and connection can provide comfort, reduce loneliness, and foster a more positive outlook on life. Portion control, pacing, variety, and mindfulness may sound simple, but their impact is profound. In the United States, where fast food culture and oversized portions dominate, adopting even one or two of these habits could significantly improve health outcomes, particularly for older adults. Imagine swapping a rushed, solitary meal in front of the television for a small, balanced plate enjoyed slowly at the table with family. The difference is not only nutritional but deeply emotional. The lesson from Japan is clear. Longevity is not built in a day. It is built meal by meal, bite by bite, through consistent habits that value moderation, mindfulness, and gratitude. Natto may be the star of the Japanese longevity story, but the supporting cast, the way meals are approached and enjoyed, plays an equally vital role. Together, they create a lifestyle where health and happiness are not goals to chase but natural outcomes of daily living. Hearing about natto and Japanese eating habits may sound inspiring, but the natural question is, how can older Americans apply these lessons in everyday life? After all, natto isn't sold in every grocery store, and even if you find it, the strong flavor may not appeal to everyone. The good news is that you don't need to live in Japan to benefit from these practices. With small, intentional steps, you can bring the spirit of Japanese longevity into your own kitchen. Let's start with natto itself. If you're adventurous, many Asian supermarkets in the United States carry natto in the frozen section. It's inexpensive, and you can try it in small portions, perhaps mixing it with rice or adding a little soy sauce and green onions to balance the flavor. If natto feels like too big of a leap, there are other soy-based foods with similar benefits, such as tofu, edamame, tempeh, or miso. These are easier to find and can still provide valuable protein, probiotics, and minerals that support healthy aging. Beyond the specific food, the habits behind the Japanese diet are just as important. For example, consider practicing hara-hachi-bu, eating until you feel about 80% full. This one habit alone can reduce overeating and improve digestion. You might also try preparing smaller plates with a variety of foods instead of one large serving. A bowl of soup, some steamed vegetables, a portion of fish or beans, and a side of rice or bread can make a meal that feels satisfying without being heavy. Finally, don't overlook the emotional side of meals. Eating slowly, sitting at a table, and perhaps sharing food with family or friends can transform mealtime into an experience of connection and gratitude. Even if you live alone, Taking time to prepare and enjoy a meal mindfully without distractions like television can reduce stress and improve digestion. The lesson is simple. You don't need to copy Japan exactly. What matters is adopting the principles balance, moderation, and consistency while finding foods and routines that work for your lifestyle. By making these small adjustments, older Americans can bring a little of Japan's longevity secret into their daily lives. So, what can we take away from Japan's remarkable example of longevity? It isn't about miracle cures or expensive treatments. Instead, it's about simple, consistent habits like eating natto or other soy-based foods that quietly strengthen the heart, protect the bones, and keep the mind sharp. Combined with mindful practices such as eating slowly, stopping before feeling stuffed, and sharing meals with others, these choices add up to a life that is not only longer, but richer and more fulfilling. Remember, the goal is not perfection, but progress. Even small changes, like adding more plant-based foods or slowing down at mealtime, can make a real difference. And while these tips are shared for general awareness, if you're facing any health challenges, be sure to check with your doctor before trying anything new. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What lesson or idea from today's video stood out to you most? Or simply comment the word hope down below, because hope is what carries us forward at any age. If you found value here, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with a friend or loved one. Stay strong, stay positive, and remember, healthy aging is possible, one habit at a time.